Julie here? Oh yeah, she's here. We're out in the Jeep again, following a primitive road. I don't think this one gets much use. Of course, we're out mine hunting. We ditched the Jeep and we're on foot. This is where we're headed. There's a box canyon ahead of us here. There's no way out, just up. Here is an old foundation made out of big stones. We're still plugging away here. A few things are turning up in the wash. Cans and bottles and stuff. This is our road. Goes over to the left here. Well, our road has been reduced to a trail now. We're on the side of the mountain. Cool big cairn up there, right above Julie. Let's go catch her. She's trying to wear me out. I kind of like the way these mountains on the left of us look, how they're tipped on their edge. You see a lot of these little pock marks dotted throughout the hills here. You can see how this vertical vein is there, and somebody has dug out like a 3 or 4 foot hole trying to find some gold or whatever they're mining up here. We're on the edge of a pretty tall cliff here. That's the way we're headed. This is looking behind us. You can see our road down there that we walked up. Well, the trail has switched back now, and you can see our waste rock pile that we're targeting. I know it's into the sun. Well, it's going up now. I don't know how they ever got any ore out of here. I thought maybe it was a mule trail, but I don't think so. So the geology up here is kind of wild. This stuff is very red. I know cinnabar is always associated with red ore. I don't know what this stuff is. It's not super heavy. We're at the base of the waste pile. We found a few artifacts. So this is pretty cool. We found this little sled, I think it is, like a little ore sled. See how it's got the metal runners on it, and the front of it is tapered? Let's set it back down. And it's just about falling apart. It's got a chain on the front of it, and it's just about falling apart. I put it back together a little bit. It's only about 3 feet long. Wow, here's the view from the top of the waste pile. A little hazy today, but great view from up here. So this is the waste rock pile up here. It's very red. This is what you see when you make the crust of the waste rock pile. There's a cool piece of steel rod here that's been fashioned into a loop, kind of. It's about 2 feet long. One little box is kind of cool. Stope to the right, don't know how far it goes. A little wind skid here. I don't have my light on, but it goes down that way. There's some water line, it looks like. Here's a, looks like a stack for something. Well, let's put our lights on and go down and see what we find here. I can only imagine that little cart that we found on the way up skidding up this thing. Okay, let's venture in this beast and see what we have. There's that stack and the water line, it looks like. Let's see if we can get an idea of the vein they're working on here. Does that go anywhere?
Yeah. It goes a little way down.
And there's a ladder, of course. Oh boy. So they followed that up quite a ways. Very minerally around here, that's for sure. A lot of that yellow material too. And then they've gone down here. Very colorful. Definitely a dark, deep red color in some of that stuff. And the lighter red stuff is very lightweight. I'm not a geologist nor a miner, but maybe somebody that knows more about geology can tell me what I'm looking at here. Okay, let's go back over to the other side and see what the shafts look like. You'd think you'd be able to tell by this pillar what they were after. See the multicolored vein in the middle there. There's a bit of a collar down there, and a hose and some lumber. Let's go a little lower. Here's this shaft with the collar on it. It goes a fair ways down there. And here's this winze over just an inclined shaft that goes down. I love these old rustic old mines like this that were all handmade. Wow, is this yellow? There's a little stell up here. I'm partway down this skid, or this track. It looks like it goes further down. This is looking behind me, below me. Julie's making the first descent. She's pretty brave for an old gal. So there's a pretty cool wood explosives box here. The Giant Powder Company. It was partially buried. Here's the view from the bottom of the ladder. There's a good little gobbing wall there. Here's the view looking down. It flattens out for a while, and then when it just goes out of the view, it looks like it drops off again. There's a little drift going that way. Some big pillars and a timber for something. Maybe it was an old stall or something. Let's go further down the ladders. Julie's making her way down the ladder. She's got those long legs. She can make those big steps like that. There she goes. Okay, let's go explore this little drift. I don't think it goes real far. Here's a vein up above us. You see that multicolored red, yellow, black. Interesting little mine though, that's for sure. Here's a pocket that they followed up. Look at all the different colors. It goes this way a little further. Oh yeah?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so the vein kind of pinches out there. Yeah, right there. Okay, let's go down this ladder to the skid a little more. It's still in pretty good shape. It's flat here where I can pretty much walk. It's a cool little mine. Very fun to explore these little ones. And that's going to be the end of the thing. And here's a good look at this type of material that they're getting out of here. And that's the end of it. No mountain lines at the end, Julie. So there's a look at that vein. Very colorful, very red. Pretty amazing, and that's the end of their skid, or their track, their homemade track. This is looking straight overhead. That's straight up. Up to the left here. I love it when you get these colorful veins like this. It's not super steep right here. Okay, heading back up myself. Wow. There goes Julie up the next set of ladders. Boy, the thing I like about these little mines like this, there's not one beer bottle in here, not one bit of graffiti, not one explorer's paint job, an arrow saying exit this way, just the way the miners left it. Well, here are two pieces of leather that we found in here. This one is an old glove, and I mean it is really old. There's not much left of it. It's leather and it's almost petrified. And this is leather also. It had a tag on there right here. What do you suppose that was? Oh, it looks like a sheath, like a tool holder.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a can, but it's not. It's a funnel to funnel ore into some area from where they wanted it. So here's our last piece of ladder. This is a false floor above us. I was walking on that earlier. It looks like it's fairly sturdy. They're not the biggest support beams, but
This thing is.
ooh,
Sorry.
sheesh,
Well, it's a big step.
scared me. I thought we were going down.
All right.
I hid the explosives box a little deeper into the mine. So if you go looking for it, you got to go a little deeper than where it was. This was a roller. I believe it's just a piece of rubber hose. So there's the rest of the ladder and the outdoors. Julie's holding on to the end of the chain from this little ore hauler that used to run on these skids. It was sitting outside of the mine out in the waste pile, and I rescued it and brought it back in here and patched it up a little bit. But how cute is that? That used to run up and down these things. See how it's tapered in the front? And this used to go up. This used to go up and down. And they probably had a windlass or something up here to pull it up. And that would run down these rails. And then they'd fill it up and they'd pull it back up. Pretty cool. See, it's got little metal slides on here. There's Julie making her way down the trail. And you can see the trail going all the way across the side of the mountain there. Not a soul in sight out here. So here's the cable coming down from the top of the mountain. I can only assume it was some way to transport the ore down via an aerial tram. No evidence of it though, so back down I go. We just came off this trail that traversed the whole side of that mountain up to the mine. And it comes down to this little area, which I earlier thought was a little house foundation, but now when we're up on top of it, I'll bet you this was a little loading dock, and they probably had to have mules to come down the side of that mountain. But this, I don't think, it's not flat enough to be a house foundation. So I bet you this was a little loading area because the road is right here, and the road goes out that way. Here's some float that I picked up off the ground near it. So this is the type of stuff that they were hauling all the way down from the mine. It's very heavy. Little Jeep made it back from a mine explorer today. We got just a couple miles to go back to our rig, go back to happy hour, so thanks for watching the video, you guys. That was a pretty cool little mine. And Julie thanks you too, and
Thanks.
we will see you next time.
See ya.
Cool noise, huh?